I never meant to ignore her. In fact, ignoring Elena Hart, the most powerful CEO in our company's history, was probably the dumbest career move I could have made. But that morning, I didn't have a choice. It started during the Monday strategy meeting. 20 executives sat around the glass table. I was the youngest senior analyst in the room. 3 promotions in 2 years. People said I was the numbers guy, quiet, efficient, replaceable. Elena walked in 5 minutes late. The room changed instantly. She wasn't loud. She didn't need to be. Tailored navy suit, cold, focused eyes. The kind of woman who built a billion-dollar company before turning 40. She took her seat at the head of the table and began reviewing quarterly projections. Then it happened. "Daniel," she said calmly, looking straight at me, "your forecast model, it's wrong." The room froze. Wrong? I triple-checked that model. She slid a printed copy across the table. "Your growth assumption in Q4 is unrealistic." Every executive turned toward me, waiting to see if I'd crumble. And normally, I would have responded immediately, explained, defended myself. But I didn't. Instead, I stayed silent. Not because I was intimidated, because I was angry. The unrealistic growth assumption. It was based on her private expansion plan, the one she'd announced in last week's closed-door meeting. The same plan she was now pretending didn't exist. She was testing me, and I refused to play along. "Daniel?" she repeated. I calmly closed my laptop. "If the board doesn't know about the expansion yet," I said evenly, "then of course it looks unrealistic." A few people inhaled sharply. I had just exposed her strategy in front of everyone. Her expression didn't change, but her eyes did. And then, I did something worse. I looked down at my phone. Not dramatically, not disrespectfully, just enough to signal, "I'm not afraid." The room felt electric. You don't ignore a CEO like Elena Hart. Meetings ended quickly after that. By 3 p.m., HR emailed me. "Elena would like to see you. 6 p.m., her office." Of course she would. Her office was on the top floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Sunset light spilled across polished wood floors. She didn't look up when I walked in. "You embarrassed me today," she said quietly. "I corrected the narrative," I replied. Now she looked up. There it was again, that sharp, unreadable stare. "You think you're smarter than me?" "No," I said honestly. "I think you wanted to see if I'd stay quiet." Silence stretched between us. Then she did something unexpected. She smiled, not amused, impressed. "Do you know how many executives in that room would have let me destroy their credibility just to stay safe?" she asked. I didn't answer. "All of them," she continued. She stood and walked toward the window. "I built this company by trusting people who challenge me, not people who worship me." That wasn't the reaction I expected. "I needed to know," she added softly, "if you had a spine." I blinked. "So this was a test." "It was a risk," she corrected, "and you took one back." She turned around, leaning lightly against her desk. "Sit." I hesitated, then did. She opened a folder and slid it toward me. Inside was a proposal. Vice President of Strategic Growth. My heart pounded. "I'm expanding into 3 new markets," she said. "I need someone who understands the numbers and isn't afraid to push back." I looked up at her. "You ignored me today," she continued, voice lower now. "That could have ended your career." "I know. But instead," she said, stepping closer, "it might define it." There was something different in her tone now. Not just professional respect, something more personal, curious. "You don't flinch under pressure," she observed. "Neither do you," I replied. A quiet moment hung between us. Dangerous. She stepped back first. "Don't mistake this for favoritism," she said, composure returning. "If you fail, I'll remove you faster than I promoted you." I wouldn't expect anything less. For the first time, she laughed softly. "Good," she said. "You start tomorrow." 6 months later, revenue grew 18%. The expansion succeeded. And in every strategy meeting after that, when Elena challenged my projections, I didn't look down. I didn't hesitate. I met her gaze and pushed back when it mattered. Because sometimes, the biggest risk isn't ignoring power. It's proving you're not afraid of it.